point here, Paresh, is that he's working against every force of that delivery, isn't he? The ball is shaping away. It's a bit fuller than a nice pullable length. And as a consequence, we know how well he plays into the leg side. It's just not the right option. And maybe that pressure built up by Figgy has paid on the captain. Sharafu's to the crease. They won't run one to Dipender Singh Iree, who picks up cleanly. But great news for the UAE. It looks like it was probably just a bruise of that shoulder as he landed on the rope. He's fit to bat. So wicket taking over for Cami, and UAE are in an early spot of bother, 2 for 1.
पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ केएफसी।
बेला बेलामा साउन्ड गइरहेको छ, तपाईहरु कतै नजानु होला। मैले भरपुर प्रयास गरिरहेको छु तपाईहरुलाई राम्रो म्याच देखाउनको लागि, कोही पनि कतै नजानु होला।
Comes on Jonathan Figgy. Just can't get anything away. None off 9 in a T20I.
Dipender Singh, as usual, right on the money, right on the spot.
Scored a century in the ICC Under-19 World Cup. As he will finally get a T20I run to his name and probably breathe a deep sigh of relief. You can almost visibly see it, can't you, at the non-striker's end. He can catch up, and he's a very special young player, but he's just finding it difficult. It always is a step back up to international cricket.
He opens his account on the 10th ball that he's faced. 9 dot balls before this. Played a maiden over the first over. Bit of nerves for Jonathan Figgy.
Iree quietly has bowled exceptionally well, not just here, but in that Unity Cup against the West Indies, the series victory, that historic series win. His fielding's better than it's ever been. He's a big part of this Nepal side.
Just trying to give himself room. Sharafu opens his account with a single down to long on. UAE under pressure because the big wicket of Musim, the captain.
Down the track, that's a bit more like it for Figgy. Yeah, Iree looks in complete control of his bowling at the moment. Looks very happy with where his game is. Can also bowl then at the death too.
That is the good point of Dipender Singh Iree. He can open the bowling, he can come in middle overs, he can ball in the death overs as well.
Chip towards long on. Fielder runs around, goes wide to his right, and I think it's going to go all the way. Dipender Singh Iree will have felt as though he was in the game. It was a slightly chancy stroke from Sharafu. Came off the inside half of the bat, but he got enough of it to get 6.
Even though it came inside half of the bat, it was played away from the fielder at long on, wide long on. 6. The third over, 9 runs coming off it. UAE are 11 for 1.
More like it from the UAE. They'll need to show intent in this power play. Yeah, make no mistake, this is not an over-par score. We don't see anything in the surface. We didn't get any indication from Anup, the head groundsman here, that he felt this would be anything but a pretty decent track. And for me, it's looked exactly that. It's looked like a good playing surface. I thought the UAE ball against the West Indies in that Unity Cup, their strength in recent times has been their fielding and their bowling. So if they're going to win this contest, it's going to be their performance now in the second innings that will do it for them. And there's plenty of quality in this Emirati batting lineup, even without Mohammad Wasim. As a change of angle is going to take place for Cameo, come around the wicket now. Nearly cleans up Jonathan Figgy, who continues to struggle.
The last ball he drove off so bad. shot by Figgy. This time around, he fishes outside the off stump. The ball missing the off stump through to the keeper, Asif Sheikh.
So really cleans him up. Figgy just can't get anything going. Lots of pressure building on the young man. Just tell you a little bit more about him. Yeah.
सबैजनाले विकेटको लागि कामना गर्नु होला सबैजनाले विकेटको लागि कामना गर्नु होला थ्यांक यू सो मच
UAE player to do so at any global ICC event. And then, well, he drifted away from the game, always had the passion for it, but went kind of out of favour in terms of selection in a difficult period for UAE. Be wide down the leg side, and then it was the ILT20 development tournament where he was the highest scorer, 273 runs across it, that has kind of pushed him back into the international reckoning. It's probably fair to say that he's more of an ODI player than a T20 player, but he definitely deserves his chance back in. With all the problems that UAE have in there, problem is here, needing 7 and over right from the off. You can't afford to be 3 off 14 unless you catch up.
He has to catch up. It shows that in the start he was pretty nervy, making a T20I debut for UAE.
Both him and Ethan D'Souza, who's a great friend of his from the Abu Dhabi Emirates. Another one that Figgy's missed out on and not given as a wide. Was there some contact with something there? 3 off 15 now.
He has to get a move on. The current rate is bigger, almost 8 now.
From that Paul Radley piece 3 years ago, he was thinking of giving up cricket altogether through the pandemic. We'll be delighted that he's stuck with it, deserves his chance again. Nepal, though, are putting the squeeze on him. 3 off 16 for Figgy, 4 bowled. 4
धेरै राम्रो सम्पाल कामीको बोलिङ धेरै राम्रो थियो कतै पनि कोही नजानु होला साथीहरु यति बेला प्रचार देखेछ मैले लाइभलाई सबभन्दा राम्रो भरपुर र एचडी क्वालिटीमा देखाउन र साउन्ड पनि राम्रोसित देखाउन लागि कोसिस गरिरहेको छु लाइभलाई लाइक शेयर र सब्स्क्राइब गरेर साथ दिनु होला गेम सुरु हुँदा बित्तिकै फेरि गेमको साउन्ड आइहाल्छ अहिले प्रचारमा यो कपिराइट लाग्ने भएको हुनाले साउन्ड अलिकति समस्या भएको भएर आफू पनि बोल्नु पर्ने भइरहेको छ सबैजनाले साथ दिनु होला
एनर्जी 8 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
place to come and watch cricket and some pretty good local food to go with it as Nandan Yadav comes into the attack. You've enjoyed your time here so far. Your first trip to Muscat.
Every bit of it.
नन्दन यादवको हौसलाको लागि 1 लाइक गरिदिनु होला धन्यवाद
A bit greener too, maybe?
Yeah, a bit of green in Nepal. These mountains are all boulder mountains, not muddy mountains.
And they're very pretty, particularly this time of day with the sun kind of casting those shadows. Leading edge. Irie goes towards it, can't get there. There was just a momentary hesitation between Dipendra Singh Irie and Rohit Paudel. I think either of them maybe could have got there if they both had went wholeheartedly. With the ball hanging in the air, they both had a look at each other and just held their momentum. And as a consequence, it fell safely.
Coming down the track, Alison Sharafu. And between the two fielders,
Probably the only place that could have gone. And incredible moment of fortune. Because if Irie can't get there with his pace, nobody's getting there. Stuff from Nandan Yadav though. His radar in the first couple of games, he bowled quite a few wides. Much better start from him.
From the first ball of this over, Alison Sharafu is trying to get down the track, trying to hit Nandan Yadav over the top, over the bowler's head, but he's not been able to do so. Nandan Yadav, in the other hand, bowling behind the length, back of the length, and getting that leading edge, which dropped in no man's land.
It could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Could have looped up for the easiest of catches, but very fortuitously for Sharafu, fell safely. Down the track, it's a big blow. It's an almighty blow. I think that's definitely the biggest of the day. Probably one of the biggest. Plonks it up onto the roof of the pavilion track, and Sharafu showing no ills from that shoulder injury. It's his second six.
It was a leg cutter bowled by Nandan Yadav, nicely picked away down to long on, wide long on that is, over the pavilion's room.
A lovely noise off the bat, wasn't there? Stump mics in place, you won't quite have heard it as clearly at home, but a real beautiful ping. Tries to repeat the dose, but goes instead. Good batting, dancing and attacking Nandan Yadav. Back-to-back boundaries, 6 and now 4.
This is batting with intent. Coming again down the track, hitting it straight towards the side screen. Ball 6 and a 4. A good looking over, turning out to be a good looking over for UAE.
Amazing the small margins, isn't it? That leading edge could have popped up, he could have been gone for 8, but instead he's decided to stop being tentative and start to attack. Pressure now on the young fast bowler. Looks for the short ball, which will just be pulled away for the single. So it's 11 runs from the 5th over, and crucially Sharafu will keep the strike. Much more like it for UAE coming into the contest now in the chase. It's 25 for 1.
Laksha Anek, Energy 8.
Won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
I am alive. Balkiran Jivan Bima.
Panchakanya bathwear. Luxury made affordable.
Just peek past, or peek up to 1:45 right now. Some tends to set around 5:30, 5:45. Lalit Rajbanshi has bowled a maiden from his first over. He'll have a change of ends. Be interesting to see if Sharafu continues to attack in this 6th and final over of the power play. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle still. Long off and deep backward square out. Big ring of 4 fielders on the offside, led by Dipender Singh, who fielded that one, that cover. Sharafu is the big wicket, the next most prized wicket now. Again, can't find the gap and straight to the fielder. You can sense he really wants to go at it this over, Paresh.
Giving himself room, Sharafu wants to pierce the offside field. There's no fielder outside the 30-yard circle in the offside, square up the wicket. Decides to stop. I think he missed his mark. Again, 2 dot balls in the first 2 balls. Nepal, they have to pick up wickets in regular intervals. Pulled away, down to mid-wicket, a boundary. Good looking shot by Sharafu.
It's great intent, and he's somewhat sparing Jonathan Figgie's blushes, because he's managed over the last couple of overs and play really aggressively. Not the greatest delivery from Rajbanshi. Rarely bowls 2 bad ones in a row. Sharafu getting into his work, 23 off just 14. They will not take on Dipender Singh Airi. We've seen that trending all over social media, haven't we? There's two rules with regards to playing against Nepal. Don't run a single to Dipender Singh Airi. Number two, listen to the first rule. And the leg side and a miss. Steve Sheikh is going to cost 5. That should be given as 5 wides, and indeed is. Maybe a bit lethargic and tired from his batting effort. Not the right line from Rajbanshi. 5 free.
Straying down the leg side, the ball going between the feet of Asif Sheikh couldn't stop the ball. Bonus runs for UAE. Already 9 runs of this, a good big back-to-back overs for UAE. The last one, bowled Nandan Yadav, and now Lalit Rajbanshi. The first over that he bowled was a maiden.
Not the money this time, but a costly 5 wides. Those 5. UAE not ahead in the chase, but definitely coming. Because it's only 141 that they chase, the required run rate is very manageable at 7.5 runs per over. Lamachani's 4 overs are going to be 4 big ones. As he goes down, over long off and hits it for 6. The final ball of the power play will maybe edge that power play towards the UAE. Rajbanshi's 3 for 1.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagbazar, Kathmandu. Prime billet bata baneko harik nirmaणको मेरुदण्ड Panchakanya 500 XT and 550 XT. Panchakanya Steel.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एनर्जी भनेकै रेड
नेपालले अब एकदमै गेम चेन्ज गर्नुपर्ने अवस्था भएको छ एकदमै मुटु ढुकढुक भइसक्यो अब यति बेला हामीले विकेट जसरी पनि लिनुपर्छ एकदमै खेल उलटपुलट गर्दैला जस्तो छ युएले सबैले कामना गर्नु होला थ्यांक यू सो मच
सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो फुटबल पिरो छ
Figgy goes downtown and he finally gets in the act. He gets a boundary. Mid-off was up in the circle. Slightly full from Ja. And Figgy cashes in.
Confident looking shot by Figgy. Hits it with a straight bat. The mid-off fielder was inside the circle.
सबैजनाले कामना गरे विकेटको कामना गर्न होला सबैजनाले एकदमै डेन्जर भइसक्यो खेल
But with field restrictions being eased even, 5 fielders allowed on the rope now. But because Ja was so good against Japan, they've gone with him. UAE starting to look very comfortable and confident in this chase.
Especially Alishan Sharafo, he's 29 of 17. Whereas Figgy, with that boundary, moves to 8 of 18 deliveries. Even though Figgy hasn't done that justice to his strike rate, Sharafu has played very well, coming down the track to
worked into the leg side, should just be the single as Sharafu just pulls up a little timidly towards the end of that run, adding a lower leg problem to the shoulder that he's probably continuing to feel. Reminder that we're not bat, so that could be a factor in this second innings. Nepal are going to have to bowl well to even find out whether or not that's the case. I would imagine that Lamachani is chomping at the bit to get into the game. You would expect him to probably bowl from the media centre end, not where Ja's bowling from now because of the bigger leg side boundary for the right-handers today. And is it a case of waiting for Figgy to be dismissed to turn to their wrist spinner?
I think actually it doesn't matter. crease. He's a class act, Sandeep Lamichhane. He can bowl to both right-handers and the left-handers.
You've seen those 2 sixes into the leg side. Both exploited that shorter boundary up towards the pavilion from Sharafu. So that's maybe one of the factors as to why Ja has been called upon from this end. Good delivery from Ja, and does well off his own bowling to keep it to a dot ball.
7 runs of this over so far. Alisson Sharafu, the luck that he needed. It was a top edge, the leading edge that dropped into no man's land between the 2 fielders, Rohit Poldal and Dipender Singh Airi.
Right on the money. Don't think they'll get a second again. Sharafu pulls up quite quickly at the non-strikers, and he doesn't look 100% comfortable.
यिनीहरूको पार्टनरशिप तोड्नुपर्ने छ एकदमै नेपालले अब एकदमै गाह्रो अवस्थामा पुर्याइसकेको छ नेपालको गेम अब फिल्डिङको लागि एकदमै टाइट गरेर खेल्नुपर्ने हुन्छ अब विकेट जसरी पनि झार्नुपर्छ यो ओभरमा सबैले कामना गर्नु होला
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ कच्चपको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ KFC
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
He's had kind of a 10 bowling spells so far. 2 overs, none for 19 and none.
लामिछाने आइसकेका छन् लामिछानेको ओभरमा जसरी नै विकेट जानुपर्छ सबैजनाले कामना गर्नु होला
He would love to start well here, mix up, and they don't take on Lalit Rajbanshi. I don't think Sharafu's running particularly well between the wickets there. You can almost see him limping. And with the Tiger prowling in there at cover as well, we're just going to change the fielder. Rajbanshi will be taken out a point. They get Gulshan Jan there for a bit more movement. You don't rule out a run out at some point. We've already seen 2 spectacular direct hits from Irie. Oh, and a great diving stop is going to save a single. It's Irie again. He's always in the game.
There's an overthrow chance that they don't run in front of Irie.
Incredible, isn't it? He didn't collect that cleanly and still was able to prevent. Big match up this one, Lamichhane to Sharafu. You just sense that both cricketers have no shortage of confidence. They have a bit of swagger to the way in which they play their cricket, and they'll kind of want to take each other on, the leg spinner and the right-hander.
That is what Sharafu is thinking. Play Sandeep Lamichhane over extra cover. That is what we saw. The 2 balls that he...
Googly immediately and helped into the leg side, but just one bounce to the other side of the ground there. Kendall Fleming, the Japan captain, took a real liking to Lamichhane, and he's got a few questions with his bowling to the left-handers of late.
He just gave a bit of air. Was struck down the ground a couple of times.
50 comes up. This has helped miles over the offside. That's an almighty strike. Here's a class act, Alisson Sharafu. Always been thought of as, well, the most prodigious of the system, the former under-19s captain. Well, he wins part 1 of that battle with Lamichhane.
It was hit on the up, giving himself room, hitting it over extra cover.
Superb strike. Here's the googly. You knew it was coming after the leg break was smashed down the ground for 6, and Sharafu read it very well indeed. He's dominated this partnership. He moves to 39. It's 57 for 1.
Laksha Anek, energy.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV hybrid technology ले
रहन्छ सधैँ शानदार शानदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
It's going to be Gulshan Jah.
Sharafu wants two, and he feels as though he can get it because it's perfectly weighted. And he's judged it well enough despite the slight stumble after he completes the second. Been in the wars today, Sharafu, isn't he? But he moves into the 40s and he's playing a fine innings here. UAE controlling this chase.
There's a big gap between the fielders there. Rohit Paudel had to come from the boundary line. That is why they were able to take 2 runs.
Good diving stop from Rajbanshi. Won't stop the single, but does enough to stop the boundary. He just looks a little toothless all of a sudden, and it's giving every indication to exactly what we said, that we feel this is a good batting surface. Nepal were well shy with 140 of where they could and maybe should have got to if they batted with.
It all started in the middle overs for Nepal. The opening partnership was good. They were going around 8.5 runs per over.
Chipped in the air and chipped shy of. They haven't done a particularly good job of keeping Figgy on strike either. Sharafu has faced the majority of the last 4 overs, which is why the chase has started to accelerate. 80 off 69, 9 wickets in hand, even if there's an injury to Basil Hamid. Well, it's all of the UAE right now.
They cannot just restrict UAE. They have to take wickets.
Problem with the field here as well is, you can see with that shot, fine leg is in the circle on the leg side. All the other 3 fielders, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square, are out. There is a single every ball, if they want it, and there's sometimes a 2 on.
Yeah, because the fielders are way in the boundary line. There are big boundaries here. What they can do is just play with soft hands, take 2s. You don't have to take it.
Off cutter, pulled to the deep, will be a single. And the required run rate has come down from the peak of well over 8 and 7 and over needed. Nepal have to change something here. And they're going to have to maybe take some risk. Rohit Paudel has thinking to do. Where's he going to turn? Does he try to get Kushal Bertel into the game, who probably hasn't had the best 2 games with the ball?
His strike rate is pretty good in T20Is, Kushal Bertel. The second best strike rate in T20Is.
Yeah, just Kuldeep Yadav takes wickets quicker than him, remarkably. Better line. Prefer that line, and Kami can't quite cut it off. They still will get the single. Comfortable of 7 runs that they require from the over, guided around by the UAE. This partnership's been a very good one. They're in cruise control at the moment. It's 64 for 1.
Thanks, Mutu. नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ कच्चपको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
Lamachani will continue. Big over this one. Starts with a leg break. You sense if Nepal don't get a second wicket before the drinks break here, UAE will be satisfied with the first half of this chase.
They will be very pleased. Even though Mohammad Wasim got out cheaply, Sharafu has done what Mohammad Wasim would have done.
Inside edge, could have gone anywhere. for Lamachani that's going to cost a boundary despite the diving efforts. Sharafu very lucky here, was looking to probably go into the offside, I think, has tied himself in a tangle in knots and, well, just flays the bat at it and somehow gets a boundary.
That was a googly ball by Lamachani. The ball hitting the inside edge, running down fine towards firing boundary. Sharafu moves to 48, just 31 deliveries. Again, Sandeep Lamachani into the expensive side.
Googly again trying to wrap that front pad, but with the boundary early in the over, UAE will just be happy to nudge it around. Floodlights have just come on for the first time.
Sharafu looks a bit itchy out there. He's struggling with his leg, calf or hamstring.
Goes with the googly, and Lamachani does well off his own bowling. It's a run saved. Nepal fans are just appearing very nervous, the ones that we can hear in the crowd. 9 wickets in hand, halfway to where they require to be at the halfway stage, UAE. They have this game in complete control. Big swing and a miss though, doesn't pick the googly.
Nepal were also in a similar situation at the end of the first 10 overs. And they completely lost it after that. Very good bowling. Trying to go to the way bowlers, the way they bowled, the way they fielded in the first innings.
Twister turn, Paresh. As Figgy gets a good piece of it. He's going to get a maximum. Didn't look like he struck it perfectly at first. And Lamachani's from... But Figgy's 12 off 24 will jump off to 18 off 25. 11 from the over. Nepal are looking really concerned as to how they're going to get themselves back into this contest. And it's the UAE again here in Muscat that are seeing the best of this Associate El Clasico, dominating the score. And if the floodlights come on, we'll have a break here at the halfway stage of this first innings. Nepal are left with it all to do. UAE going so well thanks to this second wicket partnership. They are 75 for 1.
Full presents T20 World Cup qualifier. And Gazab Kopiro noodles.
Laksha Aneg Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
बेला बेलामा साउन्डको समस्या आइरहेको छ साथीहरू, सबैजनाले गेम छोडेर नजानु होला। म यहाँ प्राविधिक समस्या भएको भएर मिलाइरहेको छु। अब एकैछिनमा सबै समस्या मिलेर रेगुलर एचडी क्वालिटीमा लाइभ आउँछ।
घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष। कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह। हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति
Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
Remember, the hosts who are sitting pretty at the top of the table, having played 2 and 1-2. So it's not going to be spin. You're not wanting to bowl the spinners much from this Oman LNG end of the ground, as Nandan Yadav will come in for his second over. Alishan Sharafu has
अब लाइभ
been
रेगुलर हुन्छ कोही पनि
really impressive, hasn't he? Just that one moment of fortune, Paresh, with the leading edge that fell agonisingly out of reach. If they don't get him out shortly, Nepal, your Nepal team, they're going to be surely going down to a defeat here. UAE in full control.
Yes, UAE in full control, 75 for 1 in the 11th over. 66 more required of 59. That's easily gettable. You have 9 wickets in hand. Just that Nepal, they have to take wickets now, especially Alishan Sharafu's wicket.
Well, that's going to be 50 and a brilliant way to bring it up. Just a check pull shot that goes all the way for 6. It's come in sparkling style. 34 deliveries. It's a 12th career 50 from just 55 innings for Alishan Sharafu, his second against Nepal, and he has played, well, a gem of a knock.
Short and jab onto the leg side. .1253 of 34 with 5 6s and 3 4s.
And that's the big difference. 8 boundaries in total across that entire Nepal innings. And 4 6s. Sharafu nearly matching that himself as a run-out chance comes, and it would have been gone. Sampal Kami did everything. Picked up quickly, got the throw in effectively, probably had 2 stumps or about that angle to aim at, and I bit up.
This is a golden opportunity missed by Nepal. Sampal Kami getting the ball very quickly and releasing it. They were nowhere to be seen. Sharafu.
Crazy piece of... Didn't even dive to get back in. He just stood there watching the ball. Direct hit would have been gone and would have changed the game. For the second time, Sharafu has a bit of fortune. But the UAE are dominating this contest right now. What can Nepal find? Run out chance again, but Jora just not quite as quick as others in the ring. To show you the side on of that run out chance, to show you that I think it would have been out by, well, 2 yards, because Sharafu gave it up.
Trying to guide that down to third man.
Really strange he doesn't put in a dive there.
I think because of the shoulder injury that he possesses.
Good shout, actually. Bit of self-preservation, just preserving the body. But can Nepal build a bit of pressure on Figgy? Beats the outside edge. Good length. That's the first time we've seen that length hit by Nandan Yap. More like it. Nepal been a bit off with the ball for you?
Yeah, they've been bit off again. Sandeep Lamichhane getting hit for 20 runs off his 2 overs. That is what in the group stages, 19 against Kuwait and 20 against Japan in his first 2 overs.
Yeah, good point actually, that Paresh. All 3 games now. First 2 overs have gone around the park. Now he's fought back wonderfully well as Figgy declines the Pender's with the ball. I think UAE have probably watched those first 2 games and they know their opposition well. They're just not taking any risks when he's about. Here's the moment for 50 for Sharafu. It's been such a good knock, hasn't it? And the difference with the Asif Sheikh innings, as he puts his bat towards his teammates, the ball striking and the strike rate significantly better. And actually,
हर एक निर्माण को धड़कन यूनाइट
Panchakanya bathware.
I really do. Can he find a moment of magic? It's really been him and Gulshan Jha who kind of have been spearheading, and Kushal Bertel, those moments of brilliance for Nepal. They need something, and they've got it to be Dipender Singh Airi. Into the game, into the attack, and into the wickets. He ends Figgy's rather tortured stay at the crease. Good glove work from Asif Sheikh. You sensed it was coming, and it's the Tiger again who impacts.
दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरीले विकेट लिएका छन् सबैजनाले दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरीको लागि एकुन्टा लाइक र एकुन्टा सब्स्क्राइब गरिदिनु होला साथीहरु दिपेन्द्र सिंहले बहुत ठूलो विकेट लिएका छन् यति बेला नेपालको लागि सबैजनाले लाइक गरिदिनु होला दिपेन्द्र सिंहको नाममा
To try and use your feet to a man who is so flat. Does get a big pat on the back. Remember, he played a big role in that partnership, but it wasn't necessary.
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टॉप सब ठीकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै
दिपेन्द्र सिंहले गेम चेन्ज गर्दैका छन् साथीहरु यति बेला बहुत ठूलो पार्टनरशिपलाई तोडेर नेपालको लागि विकेट लिएका छन् दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरीको नाममा सबैजनाले लाइक गरिदिनु होला साथीहरु सबैजनाले दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरीको नाममा लाइक गरिदिनु होला र फेरि अर्को विकेटको कामना गर्नु होला थ्यांक यू भेरी मच
It's Rahul Chopra, the wicket-keeper batsman from UAE, the one-day international captain for UAE.
Now, Chopra historically can start a bit slowly. Can they pile up a few dots, build up a bit of pressure that would then, as a consequence, leverage further pressure on Sharafu? Chopra's not the big wicket, Sharafu is. But dots to Chopra, which can be easy to come by at the start of his innings, could just find a way to force Sharafu into a stray shot. Good change of the attack. And finally, there's a single from the over.
The first over of Nepal's innings was a maiden, if you remember that. A maiden played by Figgy against Lalit Rajbangshi.
Feels a long time ago, that. Amazing how that second wicket partnership changed the game. It's a really good over. They won't even think about the second because Sharaf. The Tiger at it again for Nepal in this format. Such a good T20 cricketer, one of the best in the world. 12 have been bowled, 85 for 2.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी
साउन्डको अलिकति समस्या भयो साथीहरु म्यानेज गरेर हेरिदिनु होला दुःख भयो हजुरहरुलाई त्यही पनि हेरिदिनु होला
आइएमई लाइफ बाल किरण जीवन बीमा योजना
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आज
साउन्ड अलिकति तलमाथि भयो साथीहरु
To Gulshan Jah. Again, they're not even considering when the ball goes anywhere in the proximity of Irie. Neither batter really leaves their area. So that's good game awareness from the UAE. This is I'm going to make a rogue call here, Paresh. I think I might have bowled Kushal Bertel here. Big risk or reward call. I think Sharafu would have targeted the pavilion, targeted the shorter side. Getting wickets. This is a slightly more defensive play going with Ja.
Again, to the offside. Yeah, you have to take risks to take wickets.
But I think the only way you win this game if you're Nepal is by getting Sharafu out in the next over or two. If he's still there in the 16th, 17th, the UAE, with the rate at which he's scoring, should canter home. Nothing ever seems to happen simply between these two sides. It's always a very closely fought contest, but for Nepal, you have to take a risk to find a wicket here. I just think that Bertel X factor, okay, he could get it for 2 sixes and the game could swing further towards the UAE. But 55 off 46 is a very manageable rate with 8 wickets in hand.
You have to take chances. You have to bring your bowler whose strike rate is pretty good, second in the world in T20Is.
Oh, beauty. That one just came off the surface. First one we've really seen move laterally, possibly hit the seam, chops Chopra in half.
I think that was an off cutter. That is why the ball moved into the right hand. We saw that Ali bowling an off cutter and getting rid of Kushal Malla in the first innings.
Do you feel as though he rolled his fingers over that one? Yeah,
yes,
good
he
shape.
did.
Big moments in the match here. Nepal have to capitalise upon this slow start from Chopra. Swung away into the leg side. Kushal Malla will have work to do and does it pretty effectively. 2 runs saved using the reverse from Gulshan Jah. That's good fielding.
Kushal Malla doesn't look like that. He's quick in the boundary line.
Yeah, he's kind of, he almost looks a bit lackadaisical, but he's not. It's just he has. Fine leg comes up into the circle. Again, straight to Irie. How many runs does Dipender Singh Irie save on average in a T20? It's hard to get across if you're not here.
It's pretty hard to say. In his 80 odd T20 internationals, he's the highest number of, he has the highest number of matches for Nepal in the T20 Is.
Played more. And sometimes, even though he's a real fan favourite, some fans get frustrated with his lack of scoring with the bats. Again, another single. 4 of them, 3 from the over, 88 for 2. He's somebody that whatever form he's in, because of how good his fielding is, and then he'll always give you a couple of overs with the ball. He's got to be one of the first names on the team sheet for Nepal.
He is, apart from Rohit Bordel, who's the captain of the side.
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ कच्चपको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree. Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
Bebe, यो चीज बोल लोगों लगी।
Goes the trademark high five into the sky celebration.
दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरीले फेरि पनि एउटा विकेट लिएका छन् साथीहरू। सबैजनाले दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरीको नाममा एक घण्टा लाइक गरिदिनु होला। हजुर दाइ 3 विकेट भएको बल्ल।
Dipender Singh Irie, but what we saw was Sharafu was so frustrated that he hit the stumps with his bat.
Oh, I missed that. I was watching Irie sprinting off in celebration, expecting the cartwheel. He will find himself in trouble with the ICC match referee, Mr. Ken Tanham. Minimum, I would expect. Let's see if we can get a...
यति बेला नेपाली टिमलाई एकदमै धेरै दुवाको जरुरत छ साथीहरू। सबैजनाले दुवा गर्नु होला र नेपाली टिमलाई हौसला बढाइदिनु होला। दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरीले फेरि पनि विकेट लिएका छन् साथीहरू।
I'm sorry, I was watching Irie. I thought we were going to get the tumbling cartwheel out again. Instead, we got the trademark high fives with Rohit Powdell. It doesn't take away, though, from how well Alishan Sharafu played. It was an outstanding innings. It's put the UAE in a very strong position. He's gone for 58, though, of 40 deliveries. 8 boundaries altogether in there, and it's 88 for 3.
That was bowled a bit slow through the air and skidded on to hit the stumps. Very frustrated, Sharafu.
You're always going to be frustrated. You just can't do that. And umpire Muckle has seen it. I have no doubt that Ken Tanham will have seen it. And it's just I suppose, a slightly poor moment there. We'll let the code of conduct deal with that as Harshit Kaushik comes to the crease. The left-hander. Again, another opportunity here. Someone who can start slowly for Nepal just to bowl a few dots. And the Nepal fans have really come to life. We have now twice described a sensation of Irie impacting the game, and both times it's brought about a wicket. It's incredible. You can just... Such a fascinating character to watch play cricket.
He can do it in the field. He can do it with the ball.
Are you surprised? I know he's had a few opportunities. He was at the ILT20, but I don't think he played at all for the Gulf Giants. Did well out at the GT20, where he was playing with Carlos Brathwaite. Affected that ludicrous run out off his own bowling. You surprised he hasn't more opportunities around the world?
Yeah, pretty much.
साउन्ड आएको छ कि छैन साथीहरु कमेन्ट गर्नु होला है साउन्ड आएको छ कि छैन
The best in the world.
Oh, now where's this one gone? Under edge, they're going to dash a single. I just think even in terms of bringing him into a squad, you could actually put Dipender Singh into an IPL squad, not play a single game. And he raised the standards of the fielding in that group. He's that brilliant to watch. I know we wax lyrical about him, but when you're at the ground here, you see things you sometimes can't see at home. And it's just the impact he has around the field. Lifts all the standards. It's an excellent over. Just 3 runs have come from it and the big wicket. Or are we witnessing a game that's going to go to the 40th and final all of a sudden? It's 50 exactly to win from the final 6. The UAE is still in control. With that wicket of Sharafu, it's 91 for 3.
Laksha Anek, Energy 8.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ
Panchakanya bathware. Luxury made affordable.
That could be a big factor. Now, Lamachani has 2 left. Still no sign of a Kushal Malla or a Kushal Bertel with the ball. But they're going to continue with Gulshan Jah, who's been wicketless but pretty consistent. Just 6 runs and over he's going for. Can he find the 4th wicket? Picked up into the leg side. There's a fielder there who holds on. He will find the 4th wicket. Gulshan Jah has had a sensational tournament. That's an excellent catch from Nandan Yadav. He judged that very well. Strange shot from Harshit Kaushik. He only sort of pulled it, and I've no idea how. The Cardiac kids are at it again, turning it around, raising the pulses, and changing this contest.
A good short ball by Gulshan Jah. And a terrific catch by Nandan Yadav in the deep. He jumped and to perfection. Really excited, Nandan Yadav.
Incredible swing in the game in the course of a couple of overs. This is why we love associate cricket, particularly the associate El Clasico. Kaushik's gone for 2.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइ नेपाल टप
कसले जित्छ कमेन्ट गर्नु होला नेपालको बेट सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नभुल्दिनु होला
2 PM sports यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडी यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह
I want to come into the attack and get into this contest. What a brilliant... Nepal have no right to be even anywhere within the compass of winning it. But now, it probably hangs in the balance. It's a 50-50 from here.
Between UAE and Nepal, Gulshan Jah taking a wicket in this over.
Into the offside, Parashar gets off the mark. He's a very effective batter. I know they'll have concern over Hamid, who, remember, in one of those revenge wins, that was the final of the Dabur Honey Tri-Series. He was the one that iced the chase with that 6 in the final over. So he has good finishing skills if he can get the shoulder moving properly. I just feel it's going to the 20th and final over again.
Till the end.
Probably should have just made that one prediction earlier, shouldn't we? We don't know who's going to win, but we think it'll go all the way. Certainly looks like it's going to be accurate. Worked into the leg side. They won't be able to get back for the second. Jah does the fielding and has help from Jura. Have you been able to finger on a little bit like the performance against Japan? Why Nepal seem to have had a lull with the ball in the first half and then come back strongly in the second.
And that is what we've seen in the group stages as well against 90-odd for 1 in the 11th over Japan.
97, weren't they? 97 for 1 and cruising along. The captain playing brilliantly. Goes Fuller, crucial dot. Nepal have been able to bring the scoreboard back into play. The reason why, the 12th over from Iri went for 2. The 13th from Jha went for 3. The 14th from Iri went for 3. And this one's only gone for 2 as well. So they've completely applied the brakes. And that was where the UAE were looking completely dominant.
Yeah, they were in control when Sharaf were batting.
Deep third comes up into the circle. Oh, they're going to take on Iri. Run out chance. Oh, would have been gone. And it would. The crowd reached a fever pitch in anticipation. And it hit the direct hit. It's the first time they've run a single to him. A clap of the hands in frustration from Iri. He did everything but affect the direct hit.
Hands on heads for Iri. It was a risky run in front of Iri. Shy at the stumps. Direct hit here. I think it was.
The smile from umpire Muckle. He wasn't even into position yet. That's how quick Iri was. Leg cutter to end the over. They're thinking of the second and rightly turn it down. Again, Iri hairs in to... despite not being able to affect the direct hit. Great spell from Gulshan Jha. 4 overs, 1 for 22 for him. And with 5 remaining, it's 46 required to win the score.
विकेटको लागि सबैजनाले कामना गर्नु होला नेपाललाई यति बेला विकेटको आवश्यकता छ एकदमै गाह्रो अवस्थामा छ विकेटको लागि सबैजनाले कामना गरेर कमेन्टमा लेख्नु होला थ्यांक यू भेरी मच एन्जॉय द लाइभ
भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
As the skipper Rohit Powdell is going to call upon Sandeep Lamachani, these 2 overs that he may bowl, they could decide the game. In his first 2 contests, he bowled 2 overs, none for 19, none for 20. Then he finished with excellent figures in both cases, including being on a hat-trick on one occasion. Can he make it third time? Here's thus far, 2 for 22, 2 for 25. He'd take... Yes, such an important 2 overs, these ones. Parashar has long levers, likes playing a slog sweep. Long on and deep mid-wicket. Goes with the googly. Take on Iri. Throw comes in, direct hit. Given! Oh my! He's at it again! And here comes the cartwheel!
तपाईहरुको कामनाले तपाईहरुको कमेन्टले गर्दा सन्दीप लामिछानेले भर्खरै विकेट लिएका छन् दिपेन्द्र सिंहको डाइरेक्ट पोल हिटमा तपाईहरुले कामना गर्नु भएकोमा धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद फेरि पनि नेपालको जितको लागि सबैजनाले कामना गर्नु होला.
The cartwheel lands it safe. It's going to be Chopra who has to depart for 7.
He's a freak. It's the only words for him. He is superhuman. Have a look at this. I don't think there's a fielder in the world that creates this as a chance. Chopra went straight away. The throw comes out so quickly and it might just be out by inches. He was in a great position, umpire Muckle. The finger went up. Chopra for...
अब नेपालले गेम चेन्ज गर्न सक्छ साथीहरु सबैजनाले कामना गर्नु होला सबैजनाले नेपाललाई यति धेरै साथ दिनुभएकोमा धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद 18000 जनाले हेरेर साथ दिइरहनु भएको छ यति बेला अब नेपालले यतिकै राम्रो बोलिङ र यतिकै राम्रो फिल्डिङ गर्यो भने जितको एकदमै करिब हुन्छ आजको जित भनेको हाम्रो लागि धेरै ठूलो कुरा हो युएलाई हराउनु भनेको त्यसकारण साथीहरु सबैजनाले राम्रो सँग कमेन्ट गर्नु होला कसैले नराम्रो कमेन्ट नगरिदिनु होला मैले धेरै दुःख गरेर लाइभ खोजेर कता कताबाट मिलाएर चाहिँ हजुरहरूलाई लाइभ देखाइरहेको छु सबैजना सपोर्ट गरिदिनु होला इन्जोय द लाइभ थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच
The last time around directed, this time he hits a bullseye.
That's as good a run out as I've ever seen. I didn't think he could top the one he took earlier in the tournament. He saves the cartwheel and the acrobatics for big moments like that. Oh, it's another. They're collapsing. Basil Hamid's gone first ball. The googly comes out. I'm not sure he was at 100% with the shoulder. This is a fight back for the ages. It's Hamid that's got to go. 2-2. The first one thanks to Irie. The second one thanks to Lamachani. They're dancing in the stands.
The team is on a hat trick. 2 wickets in 2 balls.
ओ माई गॉड तपाईहरुको दुवामा धेरै धेरै तागत छ तपाईहरुले भन्दा बित्तिकै अर्को फेरि विकेट गएको छ लगातार दुईटा विकेट लिएका छन् सन्दीप लामिछानेहरुले एकदमै धेरै दुआ गर्नु होला नेपालको जितको लागि थ्यांक यू सो मच सबैजनालाई
Googly just a little bit out of the side of the hand. You feel for Basil Hamid, his shoulder is gone. I give him great credit for going out there and trying his best, but I'm not sure he should have been batting. And the middle stump goes for a walk. You can see the pain that he's in. We wish him well, but Nepal.
नेपाल टपको
वास्तवमै नेपालीको दुवामा तागत छ त्यही भएर कसैले नि गाली नगरिकन सबैजनाले राम्रो कमेन्ट गरिदिनु होला मैले चाहिँ यहाँ कता कताबाट लाइभको व्यवस्था गरेर बल्ल बल्ल चाहिँ देखाइरहेको छु एकदमै खुसी लागेको छ खेलाडीहरू त्यहाँ खेल्दा आफै नै त्यहाँ गएर खेले जस्तो अनुभव हुन्छ साथीहरू मलाई जस्तै सबै तपाईहरुलाई हुन्छ 19,000 जना हुनुहुन्छ एकवटा लाइक गरेर साथ दिनु होला
What a game we're witnessing. Paresh, exceptional performance from Nepal, but it's really all about one man. It's about Dipender Singh Irie.
He's the one who started the change in the game when Alishan Sharafu was going guns. 5 sixes for him and 3 fours in his innings. And the run out that he created, the 2 wickets that he took. Dipender Singh Irie leading from the front foot.
We may not mention Alishan Sharaf, who's it. Well, if UAE win, we will. But we might not mention Asif Sheikh. Only be talking about one fielder at the end of this match.
That is what he's done. With the ball in the hand.
Slip in place, worked into the leg side. Lamachani has his hands. Said it again and again. Okay, Glenn Phillips. And Nepal have had their problems with their death bowling. Do not rule out the UAE getting back into this contest. Parashar is the key man. But even Junaid Sadiq can clear the ropes down the order. But for all the brilliance of Phillips and Jadeja, I'm not sure whether they make that into a chance because of the speed of Irie and the speed of the release. It has changed the game.
It has definitely changed the game. It was an attempted yorker by Sompal Kami, the first ball that he bowled in this over. His third one, look at his figures, 1 for 5.
Chipped in the air, going to be just shy of long off. quite poor, including the first half of that Japan innings and periods of the earlier stage of this innings today, but their fielding is bailing them out. It was a massive in that Unity Cup, and they're showing it to the fore again here in Muscat. They'll take on Irie, but it's miles to the right of them, so they'll get home. This turnaround coming, UAE looked like they were cruising.
They were in complete control in the first 10 to 12 overs. After that, suddenly changed because of Dipendra Singh Airi's 2 wickets that run out. The catch from Nandan Yadav.
Now it's hit in the air, and it's hit a long way. We said that Parashar holds the key to the rest of this chase. That's a big hit. Elegant shot to full extension of the arms, and it flies over the rope. Big.
Back of the length. Hit it on the rise. That was a big 6. They are getting into the game, UAE. 33 more required of 20.
And for all we're waxing lyrical about Irie's impact on the game, UAE are still in this chase. Absolutely they are. 10 and over, thereabouts. I know they're 6 down, but Parashar can play a little cameo and get them home. Just need some support at the far end.
With the help of that 6, comes down from 10.5 runs per over. This game can swing from any side to any side.
Down the leg side. Excellent from Parashar. And the UAE hanging about in this chase. Will that Achilles heel of the death bowling for Nepal come back to haunt them? Poor delivery, this one.
Yeah, straying down the leg side. Neatly done by Parashar. Just flicking it fine towards fine leg for a boundary. 13 runs of this over so far. His first 2 overs were brilliant. Sompal Kami taking a wicket off. Mohammad Wasim, the captain.
They've seen a few frees from online, and it was out. So great umpiring from Massador Rahman Mukul. This one's chipped in the air. Should get a couple because it's well wide of Gulshan Jat. Led by the all-rounder, 17 bowled. It's 114 for 6. The game, it hangs on a knife edge.
अधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree. Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या स्टिल ती कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको
Big over this.
फेरि पनि नेपाललाई तपाईहरुको एकदमै धेरै कामनाको आवश्यकता छ। सन्दीप लामिछाने आइसकेका छन्। विकेटको लागि कामना गर्नु होला साथीहरु।
That always is between UAE and Nepal.
Starts with the leg break, and credit to Ali, deals with it really well. They don't think of the second because they want Parashar on strike. You sense that if Parashar can even get through this over, get 21 off the final 2, with 4 wickets in hand, they just need to keep Lamichhane further wicketless from here. Keep him to 1 for, finish with 1 for 30. I think the game is UAE's to take. For Nepal, they need their star leg spinner, their leading wicket taker, to find wicket number 7. Good batting, very sensible batting.
And just played it late, let the ball come into him, and just played it with soft hands into the...
साउन्ड मैले फिक्स गरिसकेको छु है साथीहरु। फेरि पनि साउन्ड राम्रो आएन भने मलाई मेसेज गर्नु होला, कमेन्ट गर्नु होला।
Bit on a shorter side.
Suspect the googlies incoming here. Should be a bit fuller. There it is. You could sense it coming, couldn't you? And interestingly, I'm not quite sure why they're gone. They haven't gone with Irie at cover. It's Powdell in there. They feel that the hotter zone for Lamachani will be deep mid-wicket, so Irie is hidden away there. 3 singles to start the 18th. Googly again. I suppose with Irie at deep mid-wicket, there's never going to be a 2. But 6 singles would be a great result for UAE in this over.
Goes in this over for Sandeep Lamachani, his final over of the innings. The 8th.
Chipped into the air and shy of Gulshan Jad. Isn't he supporting Parashar?
Hit for 20 runs in his first spell.
Top ball to round out for Lamachani, but they have kept him wicketless. The only bonus for Nepal is Parashar will be at the non-striker's end. 119 for 6. There are the Manhattan charts.
गेम एकदम 19-20 को कन्डिसनमा छ साथीहरू. अब नेपालको जित पनि हुन सक्छ. हार हुने चान्स धेरै नै छ. अब जितको लागि सबैजनाले कामना गर्नु होला. मैले पनि कामना गरिरहेको छु. लाइभ नछोड्नु होला कसैले नै. अब लगभग अन्तिममा छ. निर्णायक खेल हुँदैछ. सबैजनाले साथ दिनु होला भिडियो हेरेर.
आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइट नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक.
He'll bowl the critical 19th over. And starts with a wide down the leg side.
Attempted slower ball by Nandan Yadav, straying down the leg side, just missing his mark.
Big coming together now of Irie, Powdell, so captain, vice-captain, and the young fast bowler just to help in this pressure situation. 20 off 12 would give us the super over. Don't rule that out yet either. Goes with a short ball. Don't think they'll be able to get back for the second, and Parashar will fancy the strike. Where's he going to target?
He might target the vacant area behind the square leg umpire. There's a deep mid-wicket. Fine. And the fielder in the deep at long on. Now he's sending his fielder towards long off, Dipender Singh Irie, along with backward point.
Yeah, fine leg up too. Goes back of a length. They should get through for a comfortable single. What are you comfortable chasing in the final? You probably don't want it to be more than 11 or 12, do you? The equation. It's another classic. It's the reason it's called the associate element. Mark of some of the best associate cricket, the likes of Namibia as well. Historic victory for them yesterday over South Africa. Great credit to them. Netherlands, Scotland, USA all flying the flag. But these two, great rivalry, really enjoying it. Goes to the block hole. Going to take on the single. It's Irie again, who at the last second, I think decides to hold the ball. Probably the right decision. Would have got safely home.
Excellent bowling by Nandan.
I mean, though, Paresh, don't you? You can feel it kind of building up. They'll need at least one boundary from these 3 balls. In a dream world, UAE would love 2. One boundary, a couple of singles gets you down to that 11 or 12 to win off the last. Inside edge could have gone anywhere. Another single.
Yeah, he's making block holes and bowling it short, not letting the batsman to get under the ball. He always bowls well in the death overs, Nandan Yadav. We've seen him bowl in the Nepal Premier League the first season as well in the death.
17 runs. You have to love a thrilling finish. This is the first absolute thriller of the tournament, isn't it? We've had some great upsets. Pulled into the leg side, not going to beat the fielder. Huge ball, this one. You sense the UAE need a boundary from it.
Yes, we all said that in the start of the second innings, this game will go till the last over. It's surely going to go. It's going to be Dhruv Parashar on strike. He's 20 of 14, good strike rate.
Other option is take the single, and at least Parashar has the strike. But it would leave 15 to win off the final. Big ball. Hit down the ground. It's hit for 6. The UAE will need 10 from the final over. It was right in the slot. Parashar playing a gem of a knock. And the UAE feel as though they can see the finishing line. It's 131 for 6.
Yeah, it was right on slot. He attempted a Yorker there, missed it by, let's say, a feet or so.
Yadav is distraught. Yet to be brought back to as to who is going to bowl the final over.
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ कच्चको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 8 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोज
Cheese balls okay?
यो भन्नुभयो के उहाँले 2 PM cheese balls यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
Over that with that 6, because 9 is a quite likely result. Field will be a defensive one, of course. Deep backward square, deep mid wicket in place. We've got yet another classic between these two great sides. Irie with the ball in hand. And starts by being clipped away for just the single. Here's Parashar. We said that he would be the key. Can he guide UAE home?
Starts off with a ball right on the money, a block hole. 9 more required from 5.
Incredible drama in Muscat. Speared into the block hole. It's a crucial dot ball. And Nepal, thanks to Dipendra Singh Irie, are somehow still in this contest. Hit into the leg side, hit all the way for 6. And Parashar has UAE on the brink, misses the block hole. Parashar moves into the 30s, and UAE need just 3 to win.
Yeah, this was a very good shot. Just let the ball come to him, misses the block hole by a couple of inches. Down to long on for a maximum. This is a good hand, a good cameo by Dhruv Parashar.
Well, those two maximums, the final ball of the 19th over and now the third ball of the 20th, have UAE within touching distance. There are fielders running everywhere. Lamachani comes up to Irie. Final moment of advice. The way in which he clears that front foot and and gets it over the rope. Brilliant batting from Parashar. UAE just need to finish the job. Any boundary will do. Hits it straight to long on. Jura takes the catch. It's another twist. It's another turn. Irie has 3. No big celebrations yet because this game could still go any which way. They do have the big wicket of Parashar, but there's nervy moments with just 2 balls left.
Everywhere, twists and turns. It's gonna be Siddiq. I presume this was another ball in the slot, but couldn't get under the ball, hitting it straight to Sandeep Zora. Dipendra Singh Airi has his 3rd, but still 3 required of 2. Anybody's game, even a super over.
Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टॉप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
Asian Paints Ultimate Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV hybrid tech. धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा. घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर. वर्षौं वर्ष.
Vander. Can he get a single to let the other Ali? His namesake win it. It all comes down to this. Down the track, hit into the air. Is it going to carry to long off? No, it's not. They're going to take on the second. He's lost the bat. Throw comes to the keeper's end. Given. He's run out. The single will count. Unbelievable drama in Muscat. It's going to be 139 for 8. Exceptional fielding from Sandeep Jura, who held his nerve. And all 3 results will be possible off the final ball. We might see this. It may be no run to the total, and it might be back-to-back wickets. It could be 138 for 8 instead of 139.
It's all happening here in Oman Cricket Academy, Turf 1. A run out. That was Sandeep Zora with a flat score.
I think this is 1 short. Not going to see if we can bring it to you. But Hyder Ali's too busy watching the ball. Have a look here. He's dropped the bat. He is 1 short. Exceptional umpiring from Rashid Riaz. It's going to be the best possible result for Nepal because it's going to be a run out with no runs to the total. And what a throw from Jura. Hyder Ali's gone for a duck. A calamity of errors from him. Run out from his first ball. 138.
Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ कच्चपको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
Confirmation, it is a dot ball with the run out. It was 1 short at the non-striker's end. Confirmation from the scorers. Here we go, it all comes down to the final ball of the 40 overs. Irie to Siddiq. Helped into the leg side. They will get 1. A fumble. Can they get 2? Throw. Slip. It's all over. Nepal win by just 1 run. The most extraordinary turnaround. Complete jubilation in the stands and on the outfield. The UAE have pushed Nepal to the brink, but just in terms of getting over the line, that 1 short has been the difference. It's the most critical of victories. Nepal 1 step closer to a return to the World Cup. It's been a game that's given us everything, but ultimately Nepal win by the barest of margins. 1 run.
This is what we can expect from these two sides, Nepal and UAE. El Clasico, we've seen El Clasico earlier. Now this is the 11th T20I between them. Nepal leads 6-5. Nepal earns their 2 points, winning the game by a run. A very good umpiring by the umpire there, giving it short run. He dropped his bat and tried to cross the line with his gloves, but couldn't do so.
And what a calamity of errors, Paresh, because Junaid Sadiq has then done the exact same thing. He too has dropped the bat. Surely they should have known they needed to go for the second, despite the fumble from Powdell. Well, some are saying the cardiac kids are gone. They are back with a vengeance. They win by 1 run. They are a step closer to that T20 World Cup in a game